Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Peeps. On the big screen you can see Brandon.
Do you know my rap name is Lil Bullshit, I already know. Lil Bullshit. Lil Bullshit.
Oh crap, baskets!
Are you slapping my...
No!
What? What? What the fuck did you just say, Brandon?
So, no, we should do every single time he goes back in, just go back to the van and let him do all the shit for us. That's basically what's gonna happen.
Okay.
It was a bit weird because for me to end up in an actual group, say, okay, we want you in, you're in this group now, it's just a bit surreal how they've went from, okay, we don't really know who you are, who's just let you speak and whatnot, to just, aight, mate, come on, let's go, you're one of us now. It's still a bit weird even to this day. It's amazing that I joined and think about all the amazing stuff we did on this channel, but at the time it was just like a, oh shit, it's getting real kind of thing. So it was amazing to join, and throughout the first few months it was pretty good. See, this question is a bit weird because I did lose interest in one project, which was the Peeps game, which no one's getting anytime soon. I mean, there was a demo. The demo's still out there. Just the full game you'll never get. So I might have to take down the. I'm gonna take down the game drop page because it's a discontinued game. So yeah, you ain't getting that game anytime soon. But in terms of videos, there was one specific video that I lost interest in making, which was, so the Peeps arc was gonna have a series of cell transmissions, like the encrypted cell tapes. There was going to be an 11th tape, I believe, or is there already 11 on there? I need to do my research. So, you know how the encrypted cell tapes only went up to 10? Interestingly, there was supposed to be 11. 10 for the amount of standard tracks there, and then the 11th one was just gonna be like a promo stuff. However, it wasn't really. I didn't really lose interest, I just kind of used it for the B.B.B is not real, the trial awaits video. So, think about it, I didn't really lose interest. I mean, I lost interest in making it a separate video, like Decrypted Cell Tapes finale, but I repurposed it for another video, so that's why I said it was a bit complicated. It was a bit complicated to answer the video side of things, but projects, the game, I lost interest quick, so. I mean, at one point in production, I was losing interest in making the Peeps Arc album. Actually, there was one point in production where I was I was producing Decrypted Army, which sounded horrible in the final production. But I was like, okay, we need this track in the album. How can we make it like this? I had an idea of removing that track to make it only a 9-track album, but I don't know why. But I included it for some reason. I don't know why. So I went back and forth between it. I was like, okay, do I add it, do I not? Which then led to like, okay, should I actually release the album at all because of this one fucking issue? Because I'm in a crossroads, so. But I ended up putting it in the album because it sounded good, but not like the other tracks. It was good, but not great. The Peeps Arc album could have been cancelled, ladies and gentlemen. It could have been. Oh, this is a question that I've kind of had to have a major think about, and the lore is just one massive cycle if you think about it. Yes, even though the story isn't really completed yet, I can just give you one hint, it's a massive cycle. So yeah, start off in the Haververse, then after the events of, the wide one fiasco, it'll go to the the Complexiverse, which is the latest release we have for the Golden Trio. If you want to check that out, that'll be in the description down below, along with the channel, if you want to subscribe to that. It's the new group channel with myself, Beastly, and Nikki, so you can check that out if you want to. You'll go Habiverse to Complexiverse to Tremaxiverse, which is the final universe of that story. And and the Tremaxiverse is something I'm still yet to tell, so that's gonna be something to write. See, with the lore and its personal meanings, it's flipped. So I see the wide one is just one massive, torture device, and it's just something to torment the crypto child with. But what the wide one means to me is social media torture, really. What cyberbullying can do to you, and what social manipulation can do. It will just fuck you up. It will encapsulate you, and then all of a sudden it's just you're being poked out with a stick. So that's what the wild one is. Except most events of the lore is personal. The reason I say most is because some of them are just filler. Some are filler that don't mean anything at all, but the main stuff, like the Haver files, for example, that entire story is just someone going downhill, spiraling out of control, losing his sense of sanity, and then, killing everything in his way. The emblems are perspective, so it's just, heroic, your perspective. The heroic emblem is your perspective. The Matrix emblem is toxicity, is a toxic perspective. Hybrid is the mix of those two combined, so... And then the Deca Prime, which is the first ever emblem to ever exist, is the overall perspective, like what everyone outside of the situation sees. That's gonna be... It was difficult to write with that in mind. So I was just like, okay, if the heroics is this, what can we do to progress it forward? Okay, make these the kind of protagonist side of the I wouldn't say protagonist because it's not the main character, but it's the good kingdom, like the positive kingdom, whilst everything else is out to get everyone else. So yeah, the lore is very personal. So the lore is just a repetitious cycle of going down to insanity, then coming back out of it. That's all it is. I made the lore because it's a little venting chamber. It's where I can just be like, okay, put your struggles to stories, and that's it. That's all that the lore is. Put struggles to stories. It's different with Complexiverse because that's something. See, the overall story of it is personal, but the way I played it out in terms of lore videos, it isn't personal. It's just the way to just, okay, this is the track name. We put it in the lore, so it's just, it's half and half, really. It's difficult to answer for the Complexiverse. It's a bit different, but with the Habiverse, it's just downhill. That's all it is. Then Complexiverse is you going back uphill, and then Tremaxiverse is just a state of limbo. At the moment, I'm still trying to write it. But the reason why I made the lore, it's because, see, I started making the lore 2 years ago, but actually started doing anything with it 5 years ago. That's reverse. I started making stuff like lore based 5 years ago, which was in form of the 2 games I made. Yeah, those 2 games were just like, okay, experiment with it. And then when it came down to the emblems and decrypted, this is where I was like, okay, I can take it somewhere. I can actually make a story out of this. On my birthday, I started drawing up eyes because I was like, okay, birthday. Nothing really too much to go on this day, so I started drawing stuff. I was like, you know what, let's draw some cool eye designs. So I went with the anime-esque style stuff. Then I went back to what I used to draw, which is just, the old eye symbol, which I'll put on screen now. This was the beta design for what eventually was the heroic emblem. Like, it was the first ever design I have made. Then that turned into the heroic emblem. Like, look at how far we've come, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how far we've come. See, I've had the beta heroic emblem as my profile picture for a long time now. I said, you know what, revamp. So then what I did is I started drawing up. Then I started pixelating it. Then I sent the pixel art to Dino Reno, for those who don't know, who did the graphics for The Cryptid Child on the Throne, Finwick in the D&D. I'm trying to think what else. He did backgrounds as well for the album covers, and the track album art. But he's done a lot for this sort of lore series, and I love him too much for it. And he also drew up the emblem eyes, so he also made them high resolution, so that means they're like vectors practically. So yeah, without Dean, none of this sort of fancy graphic stuff wouldn't exist, so I have to give him full props for that. But what did I do? Asset placement, some backgrounds. So he's done most of the work. I love him too much for it. So the heroic emblem was the first ever one I drew up. Then I started, you know what? Let's just make another one. Then after that, I made another one. And then later, like, I don't know, a year like into writing the lore series, I'm like, you know what? We'll make another one. Yeah, 4 emblems, which then turn into one turning into 3. So you'll know what I'll mean soon enough. So the reason why I made the lore is just because the games weren't doing as well as I hoped. So I started storytelling in a way that many people have done before, but not won't be right. It's not original that I'm doing, obviously. The story is 100% original. It's just the way I present it isn't. This is a massive story that needs to just... I don't know. It's a weird thing to talk about, because this lore series, it's been going on for 5 years, roughly. I have to think about 5 years in development to then end up here. It's insane. The progress made, it's insane. Who am I to thank than you guys? You all pushed this to beyond its limits. Like an album, are you serious? A live D&D campaign, are you serious? If I know that you all love the series, I'll continue doing it. I want to thank you all for getting it this far, so yeah, thank you very much, and I love you all for that. There has been since Complexiverse, and in fact the Peeps arc for that matter. Yeah, the Peeps arc was supposed to be a continuation from the Haver Files. The D&D takes place during the album events, which would be The Way of the Rematrix, The Hybrid's Call, The Cryptid Army, and Twisted Behavior. Those take place with the album. Anything after that, it's all weather. So it's all their free reign. It's all the continuation of the story. So if you think about it, Dawn of the New Emblem in the Peeps Arc album is the final events of the Haververse. People would say, I mean, I guess you could say Emotions album, but that takes place beforehand. It takes place before the Haver Files. So Emotions is a different story I'll get into soon. Yeah, I do tend to have fun with with what I do as well. Like the Emotions album, it was fun. It was overall fun to do. There is plans to expand. Like there's 2 more projects in the works. Obviously one of them is actually there's 3 in the works. Yeah, 3 projects in the works. Corrupted Origins, which I'm working on with Nikki, which is kind of on hold and kind of not. So because one, I'm trying to rewrite the entire story so it actually makes sense. I'm doing the same thing like I did with the D&D, and it's taking a fucking while to rewrite all the scripts to make it fit. And second one is hopefully another event sort of thing. I don't think it'll be a D&D event, but maybe like an ARG kind of thing. I don't know. I'm still in planning stages for that project. And the third one is if I do ever get bored, another album, I guess, or an EP. I don't know. It's a long road for me. so many ideas I can put into the next installment, but that'll take time. So there are plans to expand, but once it's done, it's done. So I guess sorry, not sorry if the lore ends. Not really my fault, but it is. I'm really joking. I mean, if the lore ends, then it's a good place to end a story that's been going on for God knows how long, really. Like a 5-year progression plan. Well, 3 years in planning stages, kind of, because the 2 games. And for our 2 year span until today, it's just, what the fuck have we done? What the fuck kind of story have we made? Let's try and steer in the right direction now. So yeah, I'm trying my best to finish the story as smooth as I can. By that I mean at an even pace. So I ain't rushing anything. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what I did with the D&D and the Peeps archive. I'm not gonna do that, because that was a rough period. That was a very rough period. Yeah, there is plans to expand. So at a very even pace as well. So don't worry, I won't overwork myself. So yeah, I really hope that whether we have in store in the future on the Golden Trio or the B.B.B channel, it's decent enough to be called. It's decent enough to be to Invitatum standard, you know, and Peeps Arc standard. So I really hope you'll really love the new material that we've got coming up. There is plans to make a separate channel to tell the full scale story. So if you've been on the Golden Trio, you know about Illusion Industries, right? That will be the new channel that I'll put all the lore stuff on. That'll be where the entire Multiverse Havoc's story, that's the overall story name. It's the Multiverse story name. Multiverse Havoc. There you go. Multiverse Havoc is the collective name for the entire story. So Multiverse Havoc will be told on the Illusion Industries channel, which I will announce soon on the B.B channel and the Golden Trio channel, but we're working on it. So yeah, there is plans to tell the whole story, and I cannot wait to see what you will think of it, because 2 years in planning and it's nearly done. So I really hope to get your feedback on the overall story and see what I did wrong, what I did right, or what you found interesting, what you found the least interesting. So I do want to get feedback on it. So the full story will be told in time, guys, don't worry. No, there is no plans to return. I feel like I've made my mark on this channel for a very long time. I've made I wouldn't say mark, I've made a nuke dent. I made a dent the size of a fucking nuke explosion. That's the impact I have on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'd say that, but it was just my stupid face everywhere. It's just, get rid of it. But there is no plans to return to the Peeps, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like I'm not comfortable returning to this channel. I'm not comfortable, because like I said, it was just my stupid face everywhere. I knew people were getting fucking tired of just, okay, when are we gonna see a new upload from Elijah coming? Oh, it's this redhead man. Okay, again. You've lost a sub from me, mate. See, that's the anxiety I always have when uploading on this channel. It's just, oh, it's Brandon. Okay, what about tomorrow? Oh, it's Brandon again. Then viewership will go down and down every single time I'll upload, and that's the anxiety I have all the time. Including with the Golden Trio. With the Golden Trio as well, I still have that anxiety for some reason. Every single time I upload, I get less views. That's fine. That's okay. I don't care about the views. I just want to get the subs up. And if views go up in the process, I'm doing something right. So there is no plans to return to this channel. Not from me at least. I don't. For me, no plans to return. And I do not see myself returning to this channel anytime soon.
seemed like a pretty cool guy. And the more I talked to him, I think I met him through Kami. I think he came via Kami. And just the more that I talked to him, the more we just seemed to click. And then he became my editor first, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I can't remember the timeline. I've gotten high since then. So I think Brandon was my editor beforehand. And then we saw just how well he was doing. And I was the one who suggested we add him to the Peeps. I asked Grin first, and then we asked Elijah and Kami and Logan, and they were all like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. So as far as the judgment of adding Brandon, he just had a really good personality, a really good work ethic, and I thought he would work really well with the Peeps, you know? Why not?
What we do is we have a vote being like, this dude's chill. Do we add him? Do we not? We had a long ass conversation and we decided to put it to a vote. If the majority of the party says yes to the vote, they are added. Brandon had to go through the voting, and we said yes because we knew them, and we knew that they would be good little additions to our scandal.
What judgment? And that's not even me being dumb or funny. What judgment? It was almost unanimous. Like, it was kind of meant to happen at some point. That's the best way I can think to describe it. Because I remember, I think Nikki called the group chat one day. We're talking like normal, just a moment of silence, and then was just like, hey, by the way, I want to add Brandon to the Peeps. And we're just like, okay. But I guess if you want a more deduced and thought out answer, Brandon, been a good friend of ours for a while at that point. We played video games, we all had fun and whatnot. He was helping us out on some things long before he even joined. So I guess before it was almost an inevitability that it was gonna happen. So yeah.
Okay, so from my end, I didn't know that you were going to be added to the Peeps at the time, because it wasn't my call. It's been like a year since you've been added, so I can't really remember that much. But I do remember that at the time when I was in college in MTSU that you were being added to the Peeps, and you did outstanding work thus far. Like, you have done, you've done the D&D, you've done some lore for the channel, you just expanded the universe of just what is the Peeps. It's just what the fuck, man? There's no wonder why Nikki and Gren, if those are the two people that are in charge of that conversation, maybe Kami too, I don't know, but there's no wonder why they saw potential in you. You fucking exceeded every single thing. Music making, you made a whole fucking soundtrack, even though no one listens to it, but that doesn't fucking matter. The fact is that you made it for the Peeps. The fact that you did that just says enough, and it should be appreciated more than it is. But it's just, you're a hardworking dude. That's why we added you to the Peeps. You're a hard-working dude.
I think I made the judgment of adding Brandon to the Peeps because I think me and the other Peeps at that point kind of realized that Brandon really meshed well with us. I mean, we played a lot of Among Us before we introduced Brandon, obviously, and we've played more. We hung out a bit more too. Along with just generally playing Among Us. I mean, to be fair, Brandon was meshing really well, so.
Oh my god, he's British. Really? No, yeah. I mean, that was my first impression was the fact that we had someone who lived all the way across the pond and was in our group, thought that we were cool enough to accept access to our group. Like, I mean, we have a lot of people who want to join the Peeps, but Brandon was just genuinely there from the start, like supporting, like in the background of everything that was happening and loving everything. So when he first came in, I was really happy, really excited to have somebody who could bring culture to the mix, I guess you could say. I was really happy about that. My first impression of Brandon was I was really happy. Really happy. He was a hard worker. He is a hard worker. He still is. And I don't know, I just love him. He's my bro.
What the fuck? This dude is putting out so many content. So much content. We gotta fucking catch up. Which, yes, the majority of the videos since man has run is Brandon. Brandon has done so much for the channel since he has joined. It's not even fucking funny. Kudos to Brandon. Brandon, you did fucking good on your journey on this channel. Jesus Christ. You've done the Peeps D&D, all the fucking music. The music is fucking amazing. I'm still a little bit pissed about you for faking some of my roles in the D&D. So many fucking good videos, man. And October last year just went fucking uphill. Jesus Christ, it was amazing.
I'll tell you what it wasn't. That this boy is going to overwork himself to death over this stupid little YouTube channel. No, I'm joking. No, more realistically, the last thing I thought when Brandon first joined was that he was going to plan out a whole year's worth of stuff in a few months. That I thought we were just gonna keep chilling, but just with one more person. But no, he got things done, and yikes. First impression when the joining had happened was, this is going to be amazing. He's going to do great things. And I was right. I was right. Brandon, I know you're looking at this shaking your head. I was right. Anyway.
I mean, first impression when you joined the Peeps, I mean, what haven't I said enough about you? Just you were like the top person that uploaded on the channel, because you were the one that was editing for the Peeps, and my myself thought that, yo, you're editing for all the Peeps videos, so if I just send you my recording, you could just edit the. Nikki didn't want that. But your first impression of me is that you're just you're a goofy ass British man. He's the fucking. If I like, after you joined the Peeps, I was looking on your YouTube. I'm like, oh my god, this man's an idiot. I love it. we need more idiots in this fucking group. I swear. Because like yeah, you're fun to be around.
When he first joined, obviously I thought he was gonna do great. I mean, I saw his work, already on his YouTube channel. He had, album remixes, Sonic stuff, had a past record of content creation as well. Obviously, as I said, we played a lot of Among Us, so he obviously made a lot, or, well, not a lot, but a fair amount of Among Us content, together. So I think I thought he was just gonna do fine.
Let's see, a musical genius, awesome warrior, and the fact that he's cool with all the peoples automatically means he's cool with me's and cools in general. So of course, instant friends. Yeah, I know. Plus, musical genius. Come on, man. We musicians, we right here, bro. We right freaking here, bro.
Yes! Yes! Oh my god! I don't know how many breaks the poor boy took, because he was the only one doing any goddamn work on the fucking Peeps! But yeah, he really overworked himself, because literally nobody else except for a couple of us were actually posting, but he was literally posting almost every single day, and producing music just constantly, and editing for me, and having to edit my fucking blush videos, and my Dream Daddy, which I think kind of killed him a little inside. I think he kind of died a little bit from that. But yeah, he definitely went too far in terms of burnout and overworking. I mean, Brandon, bro, you just gotta chill sometimes, dude.
Yeah, it's not funny. He did burn himself out multiple times doing this. We tried to stop him. We did. We tried our fucking damnedest too.
He managed himself just enough, right? It was enough to where it was starting to get concerning how much he was working, but it was never to the point where I felt he was going to completely override himself. Like he was going to actually just, I don't know, malfunction and cease function. But we've come very close. you know, we lost him for about a month or two in the past, because he worked so hard they had to get away from everything. And that's understandable, Did we tell him to stop? 1,000,000 times over. Did he listen? But long story short, no, he over, in terms of overworking and burnout, it was a healthy amount. It happens to the best of us.
Has Brendan gone too far in terms of burnout or overworking? Admittedly, you can get a little bit overworked, and that is to be said. It shows like you're like working a lot. You've done like D&D assets. You're editing videos for the Peeps, and also for Nikki's channel and for the Peeps channel. So those two alone is just like ugh. But yeah, you do definitely overwork yourself and deserve a couple breaks, maybe even one long one. You set yourself as the one long ones, and yeah, you do complete some of them, like the 2-week one, and you do the blacked out phase for a little bit. I call it a phase. Don't take offense to that. When I do see you like that, it's hard to see, to be honest. But if to answer your question, yes, you do overwork yourself a lot. Like, stop it. Like, relax. Like, seriously, you're in another channel now. Don't do the same thing.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I told him, like, I don't think that Brandon should not be working as hard. But really, I think it doesn't really matter to me, because as long as he's having fun with it and he's, having a good time with it, that's all I care about when it comes to it.
He's gone as far as burnout as any content creator who's passionate about his goods ever could. Now, burning out is always a bad thing, but there are times where my boy works a little too hard, but that's okay, because he does chill for a minute, and we're going to help him chill together. Good stuff. Don't work too hard out there, big dog. Take the weekends off. Trust me, it'll change your freaking life.
Ooh. Spooky transition. Whoa. Whoa. Huh. In all seriousness, I think the lore really came together thanks to Brandon, because for a long while we were just kind of posting on our each individual channels, and we were just kind of not like, if you wanted to know anything like about anything, you had to like know each of our specific channels, because they were all on our individual channels. Like, we never thought about bringing the lore together on one single channel. Brandon did that. And Brandon has, not only has he done that, but he has added tremendously to the lore, more than I ever could have imagined, because I had my own lore going on since 2016. I had my own lore going on since then, but it never really came to light on the YouTube channel. until Brandon actually brought it together.
And because Brandon brought it together, and expanded on it and made really fucking cool progress on it, I love the lore even more. He's combined all the characters into one story, which we were struggling with in the beginning because Grin fucked up our timeline, not knowing what the fuck he was doing. Yeah, he really put it together, smoothed it out, and oh my god, the D&D was just awesome. If you guys haven't seen the D&D yet, you need to see the D&D.
Fucking amazing. It is so goddamn amazing. I cannot fucking stress that enough. It is. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. The lore that we have came up with is fucking amazing. Thank you, Brandon, for giving some spice to the channel. The projects still fucking amazing because most of them tie into the lore and his own lore as well. But all the projects are fucking amazing, including all the. Is the music considered a project or just a little here, have this is cool? But if that's the fact, then fucking music's amazing. Shit, I'm not gonna sit down and lie and be like, oh, the music man made it's good. Shit, no. Band's music is fucking amazing. Whenever you go to my stream, 9 out of 10 times, the lo-fi vibes will be on the background. Music is fucking amazing.
I'm trying to find a way of saying I love it without sounding like I'm overhyping something that I in part helped and create and be a part of. First of all, right, no plans of that happening. It started as Brandon, being same old Brandon. He's like, all right, you know what? It started off with Brandon being like, I'm gonna make a game out of these idiots that have invited me to the idiocy. Never happened. Savage. And then it turned to, oh my god, we're writing actual stories. Brandon's making scripts for everybody. Oh my god, what the hell are we doing? And I loved every second of it. Not because there was a section of it that I was personally involved with, but because I don't think I've ever seen a story written, built, and expanded as quickly as Brandon did it, and have it still be good. Obviously, there are bits and pieces here that's just like, oh. But that's honestly expected. But for the most part, everything was just like, I was in like jaw-dropping amazement for like 99% of anything Brandon did lore related, and the stuff I got to personally work on for it was that was all fun, but that wasn't, in my opinion, that's where the weak points were coming from. I am not good with storytelling, so I just slapped something there and said, all right, make do with this, and Brandon made do with it, and I was amazed. All around lore stuff, I was amazed.
The lore and projects that you made, like a D&D and stuff, like the D&D, your decrypted transmissions, like your lore universe like collided with ours, and it just expanded the universe on what the Peeps could be. All of our like secondary or like evil sides or egos, if everyone calls it, you've expanded it beyond belief. Like the D&D alone is like the lore. That's a lore game, and the fact that you made that in the first place is just fucking amazing.
Peeps lore in general, I mean, I guess kind of like merged with Brandon's lore. Once he joined the Peeps, I think that the lore is, I feel, pretty good. I'm sad that it ended somewhat prematurely, but I can't really say that I really expected this lore to go on for that much longer, because there's probably a lot of stuff we'd need to cover to even have like a really, really big like lore point, which who knows, we might see something over at the Golden Trio. You should go subscribe. Yeah.
His freaking lore is multiverses wide. Are you kidding me? It is fantastic. My man's got freaking time travel. He's got all kinds of freaking, he's got every possible thing that an entire story technically needs, man. And the thing is, it's told not only through his awesome storytelling abilities, but it's told through his music as well. My man done translated multiverses worth of lore out this hole into music. Who else can do that? No one I know. Big Brand's doing his thing.
Now I have to describe Brandon in 3 words. Can I do more than 3 words, or does it have to be 3 words? Alright, I guess if it has to be 3 words, right off the top of my head, is honestly brilliant, talented, and lovable. He's a good boy, and he's very smart, and he's very talented with what he does. Extremely talented. I only wish I could make the music that he makes, especially the new stuff that he's putting out. It's incredible. Also share any stories, memories we've had. Hey yo, Brandon. What that blush do though? But yeah, no, I mean there is a ton of memories that I have, stories with Brandon, but to be honest, I want to keep those memories to myself because they're very special and I don't want anybody else knowing about them. And if you know and find out, I will hunt you down and murder you. Not while you're sleeping either. You will feel the pain.
Cool music, man. Straight off the top of my head, I am bad with. If I get a question like describe so and so in a couple words, I'll sit there and be like, I'm trying to think of stories and memories because he also asked for that. Hey Brandon, you remember the time when you faked my roles in the D&D? I'm so fucking.
Oh boy, and last but not least, describe Brandon in 3 words. This should be easy. Smart, yes, Brandon, smart. Kind, and the last but not least, and this is a very important one, talented. Smart, kind, talented. That's Brandon in 3 words, whether he likes it or not. And there's like a million mother effing things I could say to describe Brandon. Cause he became one of my best friends and like a couple of months after I met him, and he's still one of my best friends. I will forever consider him one of my best friends, even if one day Discord falls apart and we never talk to each other ever again. He is one of my best friends, and he will remain one of my best friends. And I'm repeating myself on purpose this time for a change. I'm willing to bet $1 million of every currency on the planet that somebody said British. Am I right? Tell me I'm right.
Describe Brandon in 3 words. British. Oh, I gotta think about this. Hold on. Definitely one of them is British. British, creative, and productive.
3 words to describe Brandon. Nice / kind. I mean, he's an amazing person. I mean, first off. Second off, very hardworking. This dude, when he's bored, he even creates stuff just for fun. But when he has to do something, or when he wants to do something, he will do it no matter how much work it takes. And third off, what can I say? Because I feel like I've covered most of it, but I think he's also just a great friend as well. I think, on camera, behind the scenes, Brandon is a nice, heartwarming person. I think, he was one of the pillars of the Peeps. He definitely did a lot of good work on his time at the Peeps. Any stories or memories? I don't think this has been told to the general public, so I'm gonna say it right now. It was my birthday, and when when I was, when I think it was either around the time where Brandon became a peep. I'm pretty sure there was this funny meme that I would say a lot, and I was spamming a lot more back then. It's called Balls in Your Jaws. I know it's still popular. I still know people still talk about it to this day, but it's lessened in popularity since its peak. So for my birthday, Brandon made me a Megalovania X Balls in Your Jaw remix, and I still have it as my morning alarm. So sometimes when I'm waking up to go to school, I hear it. So, it's just hilarious.
Describe Brick Brand in 3 words. Hardworking. Don't come at me. Listen, that's technically 1 word. I didn't breathe between it. Those hardworking. Musical freaking genius. Still 2 of them. And only 3 words. Well, damn it. Fantastic friend. There you go. Boom. You got it, Chief. Skilled for days. Talented than a mofo. And a fantastic hardworking ally. Glad to have you on the team, Big Brand.
They seem to be perfect for the project.
Who are they, sire?
Their name is...
Isn't that right, Elijah?
No, you just sit there and watch. Sit there and watch as you see all your friends go bye-bye.
Will you guys help us? Hopefully. We value each and one of every one of you.
I've been on a journey, collecting people, collecting creatures.
Buddy, I think you dipped your toes in the wrong puddle.
Inside a bubble of the great beyond lies a barrier from unknown origin. A barrier that is said to hold all the knowledge throughout the great beyond inside the barrier of repetitious cycles. This barrier is known as the Scientia barrier. This barrier is the shell that surrounds the most powerful system of universes. Nothing in the rest of space itself can hold such power. This bubble cannot be shattered, nor affected by what is inside nor outside of the barrier. Inside this barrier held 3 universes, linked with chains from unknown origin, invisible, yet so unbearably powerful. Each universe is described to be linked to one another, but nothing can confirm the comparisons. These universes are laid out in a triangle formation to keep the balance between them strong. The universe at the top of the formation is the red beacon of havoc and destruction. This universe was to be named the Haviverse. The universe at the bottom right of the formation is a golden beacon of complexity and entanglement. This universe was to be named the Complexiverse. Finally, the universe at the bottom left of the formation was a white beacon of tranquility and peace. This universe was to be named the Tramaxiverse. These universes were located at the top half of the Scientia barrier. The bottom half, however, held the origin of the godlike cult known, in myth, as the Telesigrapho. The universe they were located in was to be called the Underside. This universe was accompanied by 2 universe-sized moons. Arventoir is the moon on the underside's left. Servintus is the moon on the underside's right. 3 chained universes and the underside, including the 2 moons, are separated by a bar made of the same powerful energy as the barrier that surrounds them. This means that the Telesigrapher can travel through the bar, but anything from the 3 universes cannot. Anything from the Haviverse, the Complexiverse, and or the Tramaxiverse will burn just by coming into contact with the bar. If the bar were to shatter, the balance between light and darkness would shift, the chains would shatter, and the universes would collide. Eons passed since the birth of the Scientia barrier, and everything was still in perfect balance after all this time. Suddenly, a strange force phases through the barrier and lands directly into the Haviverse.
What this force was got the telesographer curious. After a thorough examination of this strange force, they called this element mesmeradium, stronger and more durable than any material known to life on Earth. With this newfound element, the godlike beings developed a new way to strengthen the balance between universes in the form of an emblem. This emblem was made from the very source of mesmeradium that entered the barrier. They have also made it a designated planet for this emblem to rest in. This planet is made from an element known as armadium, a red, almost unbreakable material. However, the telesographer had no life to keep this emblem protected. They need a sign of life on this world. Days go by. The first forms of life were born in both the Habiverse and the Complexiverse. The race in the Habiverse were known as the Armadians. The race in the Complexiverse were known as the Complexians. Armadians can live up to billions of years, while the Complexians can live up to roughly around 500 million years. However, Complexians have a higher level of intelligence than an Armadian. Two different species in two different universes. However, Tremaxiverse was barren, no life, just planets without inhabitants. The telesographer came up with a solution. Instead of forming a new species, they wanted the Tremaxiverse to be full of nature. With universes full of some form of life, the balance between the three chained universes strengthened more and more. This was the beginning of a new era of the Scientia barrier.